Alright guys, in today's notes you will learn how to interpret scatterplots, including how to recognize positive, negative, and no correlations in data. In your notes, I would like you to create 3 graphs and leave room so that you can create notes about each graph on the next few slides. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the first graph right here. This will be graph number 1. This graph is talking about your average temps, and it's compared to the number of pets. Now I want you to ask, does temperature and pets have anything to do with each other? That answer should be no. Therefore, you're not going to see a trend in your graphs. This information is going to be scatterplot B. The graphs have no correlation. They're scattered. They're everywhere. Okay, let's go ahead and look at problem number 2. Problem number 2 is talking about the more hours a student studies, the higher their grade is going to be. These are both positive numbers, which means that they are going to increase. Find the graph that increases. This one. As your data on the x-axis increases, goes up, your data on the y-axis also increases, which means you're going to have a positive correlation. Okay, let's go ahead and look at number 3. If the water tank empties over a period of time, what's going to happen in the water of the tank? You need to ask, what does empties mean? Empties means it's going to go away, or it's going to drain. It is a negative. So as time increases, your data is going to go down, which is a negative correlation. So problem number 3 matches this graph right here, scatterplot A. As time, I'll go ahead and write time, increases, your data is decreasing. The amount of water is decreasing. It's getting lower, or you have less amount of water. What I would like you to do on your scatterplots, on your notes, is I want you to label your X and y-axis for each of your 3 graphs. And then I would like you to copy the information on your 3 graphs. Scatterplot A, you have a negative correlation. Scatterplot B, there is no correlation. Scatterplot C, it is a positive correlation. I want you to go ahead and copy these now. Okay, the next concept that we are going to discuss is called a trend line. You need to figure out on your own what a trend line is. Please look this up in a dictionary. You can look anywhere online. I need you to come back to class tomorrow with a definition of what a trend line is. Okay, what I would also like you to do is I would like you to copy these graphs that are on this page onto your notebook paper. Okay, in this first problem right here, we are comparing the weight of different bags of rocks. So you have the total number of rocks on your x-axis, then you have your total weight on your y-axis. We will sketch a trend line in class tomorrow. But I would like you to answer, if the bag had 30 rocks, what would be a reasonable estimate of its weight? So you're going to go ahead and look on your graph at the total number of rocks. You're going to go to 30, and what is a reasonable number that bag could weigh? Go ahead and write this down, please. Okay, number 3, as the number of rocks blank, the weight of the bag blank. What kind of trend line or what kind of scatter plot are you going to have here? Is it a positive, negative, or no correlation? Your answer should be it is a positive one. It's going to increase. So as the number of rocks in a bag increases, we can go ahead and put an arrow here. The weight of the bag increases as well. Okay, problem number 2. We are going to record the amount of money in an account by the end of each month. So if you glance at this graph, what do you see is the correlation? You should have a negative correlation. These dots are going down. So in real life, that means that over time, you have less money in your account. So I would like you to also think of your trend line. What does a trend line mean? You should have looked this up already. Go ahead and go on to number 2. What would be a reasonable estimate of the amount of money after 11 months? So let's look right here at 11 months. What is a reasonable amount of money that is going to be in our account? It's definitely got to be less than 10. Maybe around 5 or 6. Okay, as blank increases, the blank decreases. What is increasing here? Look on your x-axis. Usually time is going to be on your x-axis. As the months, so go ahead and write months. I'm sorry, my handwriting's sloppy. Don't have the text going on. The blank decreases. What is decreasing? Money. Money is decreasing. That's never a good thing if your money is decreasing. It means you're spending too much. See y'all tomorrow in class. Okay, on your quiz, you're going to need to be able to interpret scatter plots. That's positive, negative, or no trend. You're going to need to be able to graph data onto a graph. You're also going to need to be able to draw a trend line and to estimate values of that graph.